Hey guys, I am the late fire starter and it's Christmas season. Sorry I've been gone for a little bit, but hey, I'm enjoying the Christmas music. And you know what? If you haven't heard it yet, try out that Sufjan John Stevens Christmas albums. He has a bunch and they're my favorite. But this is a way delayed video, and today what I want to talk about is my November. See, we're already so deep in December. My November dividend payouts and where I'm at with my dividend portfolio. So we're going to dive in and I'm just going to show you. I'm also really excited because I made a new spreadsheet and I'm going to share that with you too. I know, geeking out about a spreadsheet. Anyways, let's take a look at my new spreadsheet. Let's take a look at my portfolio. Let's take a look at my dividend payouts for November. How did I do? How am I on this journey? How are you doing? How are you on your journey? Once again, I'm the late fire starter, which stands for financial independence, retire early. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and join me on this journey. Hit like on this video so that I can get more love. And with that said, let's look at my actual portfolio. Not a fake one, not another one. I'm also not telling you the stock market's coming to an end like all the other financial YouTube channels are doing right now to get clicks. I'm not telling you what everyone else is telling you. I'm not just trying to get clicks. I'm just trying to be real with you and share with you my journey, my stock buys, and how it's going. So, let's take a look. Oh man, I just recorded this whole screenshot and I didn't have the audio on. So let's do this all again. Anyways, welcome to my November payouts. So first thing I want to do is look at what did I get for November. So my November total, as you can see, is $160.31 in dividend payouts. Now, how does that break down? So if you look at the individual stocks that make up that 160 plus, it was $10.40 from AT&T, $9.08 for AGNC, $44.50 from EPD, $3.51 from O, $18 from PAA, $10.79 from ETY, $13.67 from PEY, $33.07 from SPHD, $11.86 from XShed, and $5.43 for UTG, for a grand total of $160.31. I'm far away from my $1,000 goal, but I'm on my way. And as you can see here, there's kind of an ebb and flow with quarterly dividends. It kind of goes high, medium, low. We're going to have a high one here in December. I'm not done with it. But if you look back to June, high, medium, low, and this is going to be a high one. So this is where the quarterlies. This is the monthlies. Every month I get these. These are the majority of quarterlies, and then these are the lesser quarterlies, if that makes sense. So right now, my annual, I've got December in here because we're already well into December, so sorry about that. But my annual so far for 2020 is $1,261. I want to show you my new spreadsheet. This is the old one. This is my old spreadsheet. And I'm not done with my new spreadsheet. In fact, particularly these right here, these three columns I need to port over. So, but the main reason I made the new sheet was this right here, this quarterly dividend. What I decided to move to an annual dividend. Why? Because here on this spreadsheet, as you can see, I just had to manually enter the quarterly dividend. That's fine and all, but what happens when the quarterly dividend changes, or if it goes up or down or gets cut, or what happens if I miss it? I have to continually go in and manually change this, and I didn't want to do that. What I wanted was an automated process. So instead of, as you see, $1.24 for the annual dividend, I'm pulling this information from a website, FinViz, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to automate the process. And so I don't have to pay attention all the time of what's happening. I can just pull up my Google Sheet here and see, oh shoot, American Airlines cut their dividend. Okay, that's good to know. Or I can see if a dividend goes up or down. In fact, what I need to do, now that I'm thinking about it, is create another column that shows any differentials within the dividend changes. That way I can keep track of ups and downs automatically. That'll be easy enough to do. So I'll work on that. In fact, next video here, you're going to see this completed. But what you have here in this new sheet is you have the stock, you have the total shares, the current price, my average share price. Now, a word on my average share price. My average share price is In this case with American Airlines, because I haven't received any dividends, it's actually what my average cost per share was, $12.23. So with different tranches, different buys of this, if I bought some at $13.23 and some at $11.23, and let's say 100 at $13.23 and 100 at $11.23, then my average share price is $12.23. It's just right in the middle. It obviously didn't work out that way, but that's just how average share price works. However, when you look at Apollo here, for example, my average share price is $8.81. That's close to what my share price was. But here you can see, anytime I have these multi-decimal pointed, actually any decimal points for that matter, amount of shares, fractional shares, you know the way I got to those fractional shares was through the DRIP program, the Dividend Reinvestment Program. So what happens is, when Apollo sends me a monthly dividend of say $11 or whatever it may be, then what happens is they take that money and they automatically buy more shares. So they buy a portion of shares. Here's a great example actually. J&J, I have 10 shares. J&J is a pricey stock. It's $149. My average share price is $143.42. With Johnson & Johnson, I got my first dividend in December, and the Dividend Reinvestment Program got me an additional 0.0332 shares. So as you can see, I didn't get very many dividends because I only have 10 shares, and because the price is so high, it was only able to buy me 0.03 shares. So that's minuscule, right? It's going to take me a while to get, this is just over 3% of a share. That means I'm 97% away from an entire share of Johnson & Johnson. Anyways, what you see here is 10 shares. I bought 0.0332 shares of Johnson & Johnson with my recent dividend. That money did not come out of my bank account. That money did not come out of my savings, did not come out of my paycheck. So the way I'm counting that money is in this price, my average share price. So my average share price I get by putting in how much money I spent on the stock divided by the shares. 1,439 divided by 10 is $143.90. So why is my average share price $143.42? Well, because this number, 1,439, is no longer getting divided by 10, but instead it's getting divided by 10.0332. So that gets my average share price down to $143.42. Why do I do this? Well, like I said, my dividend payouts that go back into buying more stock is not money that I'm using. So I'm not spending more money. This is what money I spent. This came out of my checking account, $1,439. This 0.332 shares of Johnson & Johnson that got purchased recently was actually purchased by Johnson & Johnson on my behalf. Johnson & Johnson paid me a dividend, took that dividend and bought more Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson paid for the 0.0332 shares, not me. So as a result, my average share price goes down and then my yield goes up. So in all my dividend paying stocks, my average share price will go down over time. With each dividend, this will go lower and lower, which will then make my yield higher and higher. When you look at my overall I've invested $74,000, a little over $74,000, but the portfolio is worth $85,000 right now. That is a combination of appreciation of the stock. So when you look at, say right here, American Airlines, let's take that one because there's no dividend. That's gone up 37.87% from my average price. So I bought these shares on average at $12.23. They're worth $16.86, 200 shares. So I've gained, almost $1,000 right there, 37%. So a lot of that, most of that actually, is from the stock prices going up. 1,261 of that is dividends that got reinvested. So that's what I'm doing with my sheet here. Not everyone agrees with that, getting your share price, average share price down. But to me, it makes sense. It's logical sense because I'm not spending the money. Apollo is the one who's taking their own money and buying more shares on my behalf. That's the way I see it. So there's been some dividend reinvestment, and I've made some new purchases, but a lot of these were this month in December, so we'll go over that later. Johnson & Johnson, I bought 5 more shares of that. So the other things I'm doing with this new sheet are I'm putting in the price to earnings ratio, the earnings per share, the 52-week high, the 52-week low, the market cap. And so that's what I'm doing here, just so I can just have that handy to look at. It's just real quick to see. I'm pulling it from a website, so not all of them have their PEs. But if you look at, ExxonMobil, their PE is really high right now. And if you look at, the PY, it's an ETF. But if you look at this, it's a really low one. Let's look down here, right here. This is my most recent buy, which I'll show in December. But, the PE ratio was $8, and the earnings per share was 6. So to me, this was a great buy right now. Even though the yield's only like 3%, it was a great buy. So I bought some of that. It's a good dividend paying stock as well. So here we have the annual dividend, which I'm pulling from this website. If I multiply this annual dividend by my shares, my total shares for the year, I'm getting $612.65. Schwab is saying that my annual payout for Apollo is going to be $607.35 for 2021. So the question is, which one is right? So part of what I think Schwab is doing is they're already counting this December and not next December, whereas this is looking at the whole year of 2021. So that's where some of the discrepancy might be. There are also a few places where the website is lower. So here, according to this website, FinViz, my annual dividend leads to a $247.64 payout, where Schwab says from these stock holdings I should get a $249.12 annual payout in dividends. So here on this side I'm showing the difference, the total difference of $5 Schwab is lower, $5, $15, 15, 15, 15. Schwab is higher by $1.48. Schwab is higher by less than $1, less than $1, less than $1. So as you can see, most of them, here's a big negative Schwab, here's a big positive for the website. So as you can see, most of it's minimal, but there's this 17 here, this 15 here, and then there's 15 here. So when you look at it, this is showing my annual payout should be $4,750 next year, and this is saying $4,689. So they're close, but what I want to do is track what actually happened. So as we look at 2021, I want to see who was accurate, and we'll keep an eye on that. So that's my new sheet. There's a couple things I need to port over. I need to port over the current yield and the yield on cost and my portfolio weighting. These are the 3 columns I haven't brought over yet that I just realized. As the dividend reinvestment program happens, this average price goes down, this yield on cost goes up. So instead of 16%, it'll go to 17%, 18%. And the current yield is static. It's based on the actual current price. So as you can see, my yields are all over the place. 4%, 4%, 5%, 11%. Then you have like VYM, which is a core. Current yield is 3.8. On my cost, it's 3.48, and that's going to continue to go up, both with dividends going up and with my share price going down. So I've got some conservative stocks here. I've got some very high yielding, maybe more riskier. These are my BDCs. These high numbers, the Apollo and the AGNC, these are my BDCs. The other high ones are going to be gas and energy stocks like PAA, for example. That's an 11.07. ExxonMobil is at 9.08. That's gone up. Anyways, this is my current monthly average, $395.90. It's a far cry from my 1,000, but I'm getting there. I'm creeping up. And it's going to take a while, but we're going to get there. So my goal, once again, is $12,000 in annual dividends, resulting in an average monthly of $1,000 a month. It won't work out that way, but it'll be, once again, that high, low, high, medium, low, high, medium, low. On the high months, it's going to be more than 1,000. On the low months, it's going to be less than 1,000. So we'll see how that plays out when we get there, but it's going to be a while. The last thing I want to point out is my goal has changed. Right now I was looking at trying to get $1,000 a month in dividends and $4,000 a month in rents after costs. So for a total of $5,000 a month to live off of. I'm changing that a little. I think I'm going to up my dividend payout monthly and lower my rent because I'm making some changes. But I'll talk about that on Saturday when I give you my real estate update because it's affecting some of my real estate. And this video is already too long. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, once again, please subscribe, hit like on this. Check out my things. If you'd like a copy of this spreadsheet, I need to do a couple more fixes on it, but if you'd like a copy of it, just comment below and I can send it to you. Other than that, have a great day, and I'm the Late Fire Starter.